What's going on, everybody? We are back. It is Friday, July 27th. That is huge slate. Got a 15-gamer coming, which I don't love. It's just too much to talk about. Too much slop. Do we have ownership projections out yet? No, we do not. We will get that at some point in time while we're talking, but the last day before the weekend, so that's always fun. Jake, how did your night end up yesterday?
Got most of my entry fees back, so it was a good losing night. Did not get crushed, but I understand that you had a little bit better of a night than that.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Binked the single entry stolen base, and got the old second in the solo shot. So
just on fire.
Little bit of a heater these past 2 days. Very nice to the bankroll. Gotta tune in, people. This is what we're giving you. The man, right here. I'm pointing at me, not at Jake. Jake did call another homer, though, which is just a torrid pace and terrifying. I got one as well. You know who didn't get one? That'd be Chris Baggs. So, you guys know what's what. The two real geniuses do the morning shows.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't realize how ridiculous this jersey looks that I'm wearing off the green screen because it's got green stripes in it. Look like a hologram.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, we've got 15 games to go through, so it's going to be hard to just fuck around for a while, but do want to get one thing out. Playline.com/r/awesemo. We've got a Playline contest going tonight. It's called the Golden Boy. $5,000 guaranteed. $2,000 to first. Got to pick the strikeouts, pitches, and strikes for Chris Sale, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer. I will have an article up on the site shortly after shortly after we're done this live stream, taking a closer look at Clayton Kershaw tonight against the Braves. So, highly recommend getting in that. Come take me on. I'll beat you there too. Yeah, I'm cocky as fuck. Playline.com/r/awesemo. Get in it now. Let's take a look at this stuff. I hope everyone faded my quick hit of Nick Kingham yesterday because boy oh boy did he get bombed. That went pretty bad.
Yeah, not good.
Pitching was weird yesterday.
Yeah, I kind of had a little bit of everyone, so I ended up okay. But you needed Phillies, and you needed Rich Hill, and or Matz, and or who's the other one that had a good game? I can't even remember last night's slate. Anyways.
Ownership's out, so I'm going to grab that quickly and then we can get started.
I was just doing that. I was getting distracted. Got to enter my tournaments, too, so I don't lose out on them.
Yeah, I think you'll have some time.
The Minimax is filling so quick these days, and they made it smaller today.
Oh, really? I didn't even look at it. I mindlessly just enter.
Well, Josh, that's not responsible.
Well, I know I'm going to be in the Minimax regardless.
I know. I've missed it a couple days before and been kind of mad, so just enter it first thing in the morning.
Oh, that's the early slate. I was like, what in the world? Like, Nick Tropiano's 75% on DK? I was on the wrong tab. What do you think of the J.A. Happ trade? Who cares? Does it really? Good. Honestly, does it matter?
Good pickup. Wait, where did he go?
Yankees.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was going to say good pickup for the Red Sox, but no, good pickup for the Yankees. Not that they need more pitching, but
yeah,
they're going to be so tough. Happ's been awesome this year, especially the first couple of months. So they're going to be really tough to beat with that bullpen. Tanaka, Severino. It's like, all right, they're always going to have the advantage against 90% of hitters.
Problem is, it's baseball, and the playoffs are a coin flip.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, they didn't give up much. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Sale on DK, Scherzer on FanDuel. That lines up with what I've got. That's a lot of Greinke. I didn't see that one coming. Whoa, that's a lot of Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah.
And Stroman. I don't have either of those guys.
Oh.
Okay.
Stroman, yes. Keuchel, no. For me,
Ivan Nova is the guy that I'm heavy on. I'm not really happy about that.
I mean, no one's over 25 besides Sale, so that's about right. This is a really fun 15 gamer, I think.
Oh, this is going to be weird to talk about. Alrighty. Well, let's do this. First game on the board. Mets and Pirates. Mets, 3.9 run implied total. Pirates, 5. It's a 61% chance to win for the Pirates. Jason Vargas going for the Mets. My man, apparently, Ivan Nova, going for Pittsburgh. We're only projecting 2% to Nova. I've got 15. I'm not exactly upset about it. Mets, below average against right-handed pitching. Sub 4 implied total. Under 40% chance to win for the Mets. Look, at 5,900, I think that he's a perfect combination with some of the more expensive pitchers. I'm not thrilled about it, but I don't think that... It doesn't strike me as a spot where it's going to kill me. So I'm okay with having a little bit of Nova. I don't know if I need to be 15-2 in that one. But I don't mind. And then I'll talk Pirates bats in a little bit. Are you looking at either of these pitchers?
Not really. I think Nova's the one I could probably make a case for. Vargas is just too many question marks for me, start to start. Hasn't started in over a month in the majors, at least. I haven't looked to see if he started in the minors, but 4,100, struggles with hard hits. And yeah, I just don't think he's a very good pitcher. So against this Pirates lineup that doesn't really strike out, I'm going to pass on Vargas. And then Nova, I'm worried about Conforto, Cabrera, and Nimmo quite a bit for him. I know that Mets lineup looks pretty bad all around, but Nova is not good against lefties. Can't strike him out. They're going to be able to put the ball in play on him. So that's kind of my beef with Nova, although I understand it. I understand why you have 15% of him, because he is a pretty sizable favorite. He's at home, should get some run support. I just don't know that he has a lot of upside.
I would agree. No, I don't have an issue saying there. I think that he feels pretty safe. I think he just allows me to get a little bit different on bats. Who else is in his salary range? Okay, so like he's at 59. We're giving 11% ownership to Chase Anderson at 55 and 21 to Desclafani at 53. So basically, I'm just picking a different guy in the sub 6 range.
Yeah, I prefer him over Desclafani.
Yeah.
I don't think Desclafani's very good.
I'd rather be different on Nova and be over the field than be with the field on Desclafani at 21%.
Yeah. Definitely with you there.
Not that I knew that before I did this crunch or anything, but
I like a different guy in this range a ton better than both of them. So
gotta be Lance Lynn, right?
No. Hate Lance Lynn today. We'll get to him way later. We'll get to him.
It can't be Chase Anderson.
It is Chase Anderson.
Okay, I mean, I have 19%, so I'm over the field too. That's not what I would have expected.
Yeah. We'll talk about him later.
Yes,
He's a solid pitcher.
All right, so Pirates bats. They are my number 1 stack on FanDuel from volume. They're number 8 on DK. I'm just monstrously over the field. It's just not like a ton, but we're projecting basically no ownership for them on DraftKings. Their price point on FanDuel is just minuscule. If you don't want to use Polanco, who's 3,800 lefty, there's just a ton of cheap dudes. Harrison, Starling Marte, David Freese is hitting 4th and only 2,100. So Pirates are a team I'm loading up on a lot. They'll be a nice combo with Sale or Scherzer just because they're so cheap. And I'll get them a little bit on DK too, just it's a little bit more muted. Some specific guys. It's Freeze again, Cervelli, and then Harrison and Marte. What are you thinking about the Pirates here? I like that 5-run implied total.
If Marte's back, I think he is interesting. I like Cervelli's price on DK. And then Josh Bell and Freeze. So I could get to a stack, but I just hate the idea. Like, if I was hand building, I would never come to a Pirates stack. But I will probably have a handful of mini stacks with them just because I don't think Vargas is a very good pitcher. Gives up a lot of hard contact, especially to righties. And then he's not very good against lefties either. So I don't mind Polanco lefty as a way to differentiate. Not that you're going to need to with the Pirates stack, but
Right.
I do like Polanco quite a bit.
Yeah, so like on DK, I would love a 3-man like Harrison, Freeze, Cervelli, second base, first or third catcher to go along with a 5-man. I think
Sure.
that fits really nicely and is basically not popular.
Yeah. I don't think either side, anything in this game will be very popular. I think we've got it right on the ownership.
Yeah, I just like targeting a not so great Jason Vargas, righty lefty. I hope that run total stays where it's at because I'd like to be over the field on the Pirates.
Yeah.
We're not looking at Mets, right?
I mean, Asdrubal and Nimmo and Conforto, just those guys will be in my player pool for sure.
Yeah, I got a little bit of, I got 1% aggregate Mets on FanDuel. I didn't get them at all in DK.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be missing out on too much.
No, not at all. Next one, we've got Rays and Orioles. Rays, 4.6 run implied total. Orioles, 3.8. It's a 58% chance to win for the Rays. Chris Archer going for Tampa. Andrew Kashner going for Baltimore. I've got a lot of Archer. We've got him at 18% on DK, 9 on FanDuel. I am over the field on both. Big fan of Archer. Lots of swing and miss in that Orioles lineup. Archer's got great stuff. He's, relative to salary, probably my favorite pitcher of the day. Just in a really nice spot, 9,500 DK, 9,000 on FanDuel. I'm going to have a lot of Archer, and I'm pretty happy about that. Obviously, we're not rostering Andrew Kashner, so talk to me about Archer.
Yeah, for the season, Archer doesn't look great if you're just like looking at the game logs and stuff, but his last couple starts, he's missing a ton of bats. 19% swinging strike rates in both of them. Total 20 strikeouts in those 2 games against the Twins and the Marlins, who they don't have the most power, but they're still not easy teams to just go and mow through and strike out. So Archer is going to be my SP1 in a lot of my lineups because I want to pay up for bats as much as possible. And I just love how many bats that Archer is missing. So he looks really good to me. Has another soft matchup against Baltimore, and maybe that weather will get more people off of him. And we don't even have him that highly projected right now. I'm really comfortable with under 20% ownership for him.
Yeah, honestly, it's a perfect spot.
All these righties,
A ton of righties. All of them are like bad at making contact. Tons of swing and miss.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's really a perfect scenario. I hope I end up with more Archer than I have right now, actually.
Someone said they hate the FanDuel payout in the $4. I disagree.
Is that a really good tournament?
Yeah, that's a really good tournament.
I don't get in it because it turns me into like a $1,000 a day player, and that scares the shit out of me.
So top 10 gets 30% of the total. Min cash 1.8. Okay, that's not terrible. First place 7%. The rake sucks, but the rake sucks everywhere. If you're playing DFS, you're gonna at lower stakes, you're gonna get 16% everywhere.
Yeah, I love that payout structure of just 7 to first.
7%. And 20% gets paid.
Yeah.
So the min cash gets a little bit higher.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than that DraftKings bullshit where they pay out like 40% to first place.
Yeah, FanDuel and DraftKings have kind of switched with each other. Like DraftKings doing these crazy top-heavy tournaments with 100K to first and 2K to second type of thing. And FanDuel, that's a really nice flat tournament structure.
Yeah.
So if you're MMEing, that's exactly what you want to see.
100%. I'm getting closer and closer to getting back into that tournament. I was overreaching to play it in the NBA season, but
gotta take some risks.
Yeah, I like that tournament a lot. I like being in that particular tournament. But if I do that, it's basically the only thing I'm in on FanDuel then. I kind of have to tweak what I'm doing on DK. I'm just a little uncomfortable with that much outlay in one. If that were a $3.33 tournament, I'd probably be in it every night.
Yeah, it does make a little bit of a difference.
Their MME jump from a quarter to 444 or sometimes 4 is.
Yeah.
I need like a little bit of a notch down to be comfortable doing it.
It would be nice to have something in between there, maybe like a 50 max or 100 max or something. I don't know.
I just know that like a couple straight days of like result, like if up until these past 2 days, like if I had that July and I was playing that every day, it would be really difficult to stomach.
Yeah. Agreed.
So any bats here? It's a weird ass game.
Yeah, I mean Bowers, I like a ton. He always pops for me, but another game that's not super fun for hitting. So these first couple, I just wanted to kind of get out of the way.
Yeah,
they have a good total, and it's against Cashner.
Yeah, so, I know. Weather's an issue here.
Yeah, so we may not even be able to play Archer depending on when the rain comes. It looks like it's going to get stronger as the game goes on, which is concerning.
It scares me because I like Archer so much. Yeah. I get a little bit of the raise on FanDuel. It's mostly just Kiermaier, Duffy, and Bowers. I don't get them at all on DK. We've got Kiermaier at 15% ownership. I get it. Lead off, lefty, righty, Cashner sucks. But I don't expect to be on many bats here. And you're going to want to keep an eye on the weather.
Yeah.
That only rains on the East Coast right now.
Yeah. Andres, Jake, number one used to get 10K instead of 5K. Yeah, but how often are you going to win first place? You don't want to win 7th place and not get your entry fee back. If you win 7th place and you MME that tournament, you're automatically at least breaking even. Or I'm sorry, you're automatically winning money.
Yeah.
Like $400. So it's just.
What was that DraftKings tournament a couple days ago that paid like 100,000 to first and like 1,000 to 10th?
Oh, it wasn't even. It was like, yeah, it was like 500 to 10th or something. It's just ridiculous. Like, once you get into the top 10 in like multiple $1,000 or 1,000 entry tournaments, it's a lot of variance. And if you come out on the wrong side a couple times, that could be the difference between like staying alive or, depending on your tournament, staying alive or just being completely wiped out and then having to move down in stakes.
Yeah, I want to be happy about a 4th place finish and not aggravated that there was another $90,000 above me and it's all because somebody beat me by like 0.8 of a point.
Right.
Ugh. Alrighty. Moving on. That game sucks. This one won't. Royals and Yankees. RIP Aaron Judge, I guess. 3.5 run implied total for the Royals. 5.9 run implied total for the Yankees. That's a 2.4 run gap between the two teams. 72% chance to win for the Yanks. It's Brad Keller going for the Royals. Keller with a sub 6 walks K per 9 via steamer and a 4 walk per 9. Not great. Yankees going with Chris Bag's favorite CC Sabathia. We've got Sabathia with 7% ownership. Not really something I'm super interested in. What we're looking for here are Yankees bats. They are my number 4 stack on FanDuel. They're number 11 on DK, but I still have them quite a bit. Most of that is just in the Stanton and Hicks range. So from what I'm seeing here, I'm doing a lot of 3-man Yankees or 2-man Yankees, Stanton and Hicks, maybe a little bit of 5-mans, but hard to not like the Yankees with that run total.
All 7% is Chris. That's a good one. Shark.
Good. Perfect.
Shark.
That made my day better already.
Shark gets it.
Shrek for the win today.
Yeah. Chris just MMEing 100% CC. Gotta have it. I actually don't think CC's a terrible play because I think the Yankees should bomb Keller in this bullpen. This is the spot where I'd want to play Yankees rather than yesterday when they're super highly owned.
Yeah.
15 game slate, you take a high upside team they're going to have some ownership. Stanton's going to be healthily owned, as will Hicks.
Yeah, that Judge
but
news really affects Stanton's ownership.
yeah, moves Gleiber up. Everybody gets to go up a spot, and yeah, I mean, I like 1 through 7, so I really like the Yankees. This bullpen is still as bad as it was yesterday. Yeah, love me some Yankees. There's not much else to say.
I don't love their prices on DK, even though I'm still getting a lot of it. But it's mostly just Stanton and Hicks for me. I get a little bit of Bird and Gregorius and Gardner on FanDuel. That's why they're coming out fourth. But I don't love Gardner at 4,700 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
I don't love Didi at 4,800. I don't love Bird at 41. They're a little bit overpriced for me on DraftKings, so I won't have a ton of them. But FanDuel is a place where I'm very happy to have a bunch. And this game could get out of hand in a hurry.
Yeah, I think it's going to pretty quick.
Annie Royals bats. I wish I liked them more, but 3.5 run implied total, that's pretty terrible.
Salvador Perez is 2,900 on FanDuel. Herrera's 2,100 on FanDuel. Is that right? Or do I have old prices?
I've got Perez at 3,100 on FanDuel.
Okay, that's probably because I forgot to download the FanDuel pricing.
What's making me nervous here is that I felt like my FanDuel pricing wasn't refreshing earlier today. So now you have me nervous. Perez is 3,100. Really, so okay, I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
I got nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I didn't know why it wasn't refreshing, and like that wasn't a journey I wanted to go on while we were live. But apparently it was refreshing.
So, yeah, those are really the only two guys.
Yeah,
I thought they were cheaper on FanDuel than.
Nobody grades out well for me. I got a little Herrera as a one-off $3,000 outfielder on DK. That's it.
All right. Yeah, I'm good to move on. This game is pretty obvious for me. There's not a ton.
Right. Yeah. We're not reinventing the wheel saying take guys off the team that has the highest implied total on the day.
Yeah.
So heading down to the Indians and the Tigers. 4.8 run implied total for the Indians. 3.6 for the Tigers. It's a 64% chance to win for Cleveland. Carlos Carrasco going for Cleveland. Mike Fiers going for Detroit. No thanks on Fiers. And as far as I'm concerned, no thanks on Carrasco. I didn't really get him at all. We're not really projecting all that much ownership. He's a little popular on FanDuel, but I'm still underweight there. Not a guy that I'm trying to grab today. Are you looking at Carrasco?
If Archer's weather looks bad, I'll probably end up with some Carrasco just because he's got such big upside. But I think him and Archer are pretty much the same, and Archer is 1,900 cheaper on DraftKings, so it's a pretty easy decision for me. A righty against Detroit is a nice matchup, and he could easily go out and give you 25 or 30. But I think Archer is going to do that same thing as long as that game plays. So that's the only problem with Carrasco. It's not anything about him. It's just a slate thing and a price thing. And then I like the top three. Surprise, surprise for the Indians. It's just they're always in play when they're against a bad righty, and that's what they have right now.
Yeah, I'm completely with you there. Indians are 11th for me on FanDuel, 6th on DK. I'm basically right with the field on both sites. Lots of Lindor, lots of Brantley, lots of Encarnacion. Not that much Jose Ramirez because he's just super expensive, but I get it. And then on FanDuel, I'll have a bit of Melky because he's only 2,100. That's just a thing that happens. I'm always looking for guys that are playing with decent spots and those just above minimum prices. If Melky's hitting 6th in this game with a 4.8 run implied total, 2,100 for an outfielder is a bargain, especially against Mike Fiers.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything? I don't want any Tigers. Do you? I literally have 0.
No, I don't want to target Carrasco on a 15-game slate.
Nico Goodrum, a little chalky. 11% expected ownership. Doesn't shock me all that much. Dual eligibility, 3,100. But yeah, I'll have some Indians. They're more of a secondary team for me, though, than a primary stack.
All right. Yeah, I'm good with this game.
Man, we are ripping through this.
I like it.
Me too. We'll have something to talk about here, I guess. Nats and Marlins. Nats 4.4 run implied total. Marlins 2.8. God damn, Scherzer. 69% chance to win
Nice.
for Max Scherzer. Washington has Scherzer, obviously. Pablo Lopez going for Miami. We're not touching Miami. We're not touching Pablo Lopez. I like Scherzer quite a bit here. We've got his ownership at 14%. I'm over the field there. And we've got him at 26% on FanDuel. I'm over the field there as well. Love Scherzer today. Definitely my favorite pitcher on FanDuel. He's $1,300 cheaper than Sale. And then I like Sale a little bit more than I like Scherzer on DK. And that's just a $400, because of the $400 price point, essentially. So I'm happy with where I have Scherzer. What are you thinking about for Scherzer?
I prefer Sale over him. So he's going to be tough for me to get to. And honestly, Sale's going to be tough for me to get to anyways. So if I'm going up in this range, it's going to be most, if not all, going to Sale.
Oh, okay.
Scherzer just struggled against Miami. And I don't see why he would. This team is not as big of a strikeout target as I think some people treat it, including myself recently. And he's 14K on there's going to be a handful of teams that score 10 runs tonight. And I don't feel great about any pitchers in the low tier to pair with Scherzer and Sale. Actually, that's a lie. I feel good about one. But I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to end up with a ton of Scherzer tonight, or really any at all.
Okay. Yeah, I love him, man. I think he grades out nicely. I don't have a problem paying up to that 13.9 just because there's so many guys that I'm totally fine with having in the low end of pitching.
Okay.
And I don't find that there's any like stacks that are so expensive that I'm finding it hard to get to.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. I haven't started building lineups yet. So if I could get mostly Sale and some Scherzer, I would happily do that. And then just go, because I'm not playing Kershaw. So
Neither am I.
Scherzer would be the second guy for me if I can afford him. I'm assuming I can't, just looking at like Coors pricing and stuff, Yankees pricing, Red Sox pricing. But if I'm wrong, then I would gladly take some Scherzer.
Andres, you crazy, man. Scherzer's most recent start, 6 innings, 7 Ks, 1 walk. I don't know what else we want out of that. I mean,
it's not, you're going to need more than that at 14K.
Sure.
Right?
I'm just talking like, it's not like he's been bad. He's best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, if that's a bad start, I mean, sign me up for that every time. His
Right.
velocity is not, I'm not even going to say it's down, because it's not. It's down a half mile an hour on his fastball only, his last start. That's a non-issue.
Yeah, I have no worries whatsoever about Scherzer tonight. So I have 22% Scherzer and 32 on Sale. So 54% total between the two. I mean, if you can get to one, you can get to the other. I understand prioritizing Sale. Like I don't have a huge problem with that. I'll have a little bit more Sale than Scherzer.
Yeah.
Nats bats. Finally, not just absolutely crushing them, just on FanDuel. I've got 7% aggregate. Surprise, surprise, only 2% aggregate ownership projected on FanDuel. I don't understand this. I'll happily be all over these top guys again. Give me Eaton, Turner, Harper, Adams if he plays. Give me a little bit of Soto, I guess. I don't know what I'm missing here, but I'm happily going to have some Nats again.
Yeah, so will I. It's just so low owned for a sick lineup. Who knows if Murphy's going to play? That doesn't make that big of a difference to me. If Bryce is in, Adams, Soto, Eaton, you've got Turner who can steal bases, can hit righties, all that. Lopez actually looks good to me, but this is a different animal that he's going to have to face. 38% hard contact to lefties this year, getting squared up pretty good, getting a lot of ground balls, but I don't have confidence that he can do it here.
To see if there's anything else interesting to point out. I don't know. Just Crush the Nats on FanDuel. I don't really get to them on DK because I don't think they're priced all that great. But I'll never have a problem using them. Pablo Lopez isn't bad. Like
he's not. Yeah.
As an actual pitcher. I don't love him in like a fantasy sense, but he's not like a gas can or anything. So
I would definitely agree with that.
that's why the Nats only have a 4.4 run implied total. Yeah. No, I'll happily have them.
I'm seeing 4.7. You see 4.4?
I don't know, man. I probably just didn't update it.
Okay.
Calling me.
I didn't know if the total went out or something, or total went up.
I think it's even lower than it was the last time I looked at it. It's just north of 7.
Harper doesn't look bad. Harper's fine. Whatever. He's gonna strike out. He just homered 2 days ago.
Yeah. If people want to get off the Bryce Harper train, that's fine. I'll take the guy that has arguably the most talent in baseball, not named Mike Trout.
Yeah. I'm not worried about Harper at all. I'll pay for him. I don't mind.
Samesies. Wish I didn't say that out loud. Phillies and Reds. Phillies 4.7 run implied total. Reds 4.6. It's a 51% chance to win for the Phillies. Nick Pivetta going for Philadelphia. Anthony Desclafani going for Cincinnati. I didn't see this one coming. Desclafani projected 21% ownership on DraftKings. I don't like that whatsoever, especially with a Phillies total of 4.7. Great American Ballpark, a bit of a bandbox. Not exactly like he's rolling into some pitcher's haven. I will be way under the field on Desclafani. I hope more than half. Just not a great spot, in my opinion. I'm assuming we're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not on Desclafani. You just saw what the Phillies did to a righty that struggles with lefty power, and just power in general. Desclafani, 48% hard contact to lefties, very little soft contact. Carlos Santana probably hits another dime tonight. Nick Williams looks good. Rhys Hoskins can hit righties or lefties. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I like the Phillies stack in this park. Wind blowing out 80 degrees. Give me some Phillies, not Desclafani.
Yeah, there's no need for him to be 21. Sorry, I had 2 pills in my mouth. We're not looking at Pivetta either, right? This is a hitting game, if anything. Not that I have it, but
yeah, I mean, you don't have hitting in this game?
I've got a little bit of Phillies on FanDuel, but I don't get the Reds at all.
Pivetta's good. So if I was building a single lineup or a handful of lineups, I probably wouldn't end up on any red stacks. But since I'm MMEing, Pivetta is a good player to stack against when he's on the road. You've seen at times he just comes unraveled with power, and he can just give up dong after dong after dong. And the Reds obviously have some lefty power. They've got my boy Eugenio Suarez, who hit another home run last night, 4 straight games. Wow. Barnhart's fine. So I would go with like a 4-man 2 through 5. I think those, or maybe 2 through 6, those guys could get to him. So I'm either full stacking against Pivetta or just avoiding him.
I literally got 0 Reds.
15 game slate, you're going to get 0 of teams.
Yeah, I've got 0 of 13 teams on DK right now.
Wow.
The only guy that grades out as something like functionally okay would be Votto for me. I don't love the pricing of some of these guys. You know, Suarez is a little juiced because of this heater that he's on, so I'm not really there. Scooter at 48. Like, Scooter being $500 more expensive than Votto is a tough sell for me. I don't know. I'm not interested because of the price. We're not really projecting much ownership, so if you went to them, I wouldn't have much of a problem with it. You know, they make for a nice stack with some of the chalkier pitchers if you needed to do it, but only guys that I'm really looking at are on the Phillies side, mostly on FanDuel. They're 10th for me. Quite a bit of Cesar Hernandez, 2,900. Franco went yard last night twice, maybe?
Yeah, he did. 3 guys double dong, right?
Yeah, and I think I had all of them in those lineups that won me.
Franco, Williams, and Rhys.
Oh, I didn't know Rhys did it too. So yeah, there's 2 for
think three of
Reese.
them
There's 2 for Nick Williams. There's 2 for Franco. I had all 3 of them in this lineup. Booyah! Triple double dong. Did I get it here too? Nick Williams, Reese Hoskins, Franco. Ow, did Turner do it? We got 40.
I thought the MLB home run Twitter account was broken for a second. It was just crediting all these Phillies with homers. They're just bombing them.
It didn't even register to me when it was happening because I just figured I was looking at the same alerts over and over again. Yeah, I like the Philly stack. I think it's a pretty cost-efficient stack. I'd go that way.
I like it. Just a good park.
Especially against that ownership of DeSclafani.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he's going to be anywhere near that, then I love the Phillies. I like the Phillies even if DeSclafani is 0% owned.
Sure. Twins and Red Sox. Twins, 3-run implied total. Red Sox, 5.6. 2.6 run gap between the 2 teams. It's a 76% chance to win for Boston. I think that's the highest individual game we've had this season. The line on this game is Sale minus 352, so not a ton of respect for the Jakes tonight. As I mentioned, Lance Lynn going for the Twins, Chris Sale going for the Red Sox. I don't think there's a ton to talk about here. Twins have been below average against lefties. Very little pop. Sale, he's either 1A or 1B as best lefties in baseball.
He's 1A.
Yeah.
He's the best pitcher in the MLB right now.
Probably. Look, you know, you can quibble.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah, probably. Kershaw's had a iffy year. So I don't have much to say about Sale. He's obviously an incredible spot. I've got just as much as the field on both sites. That won't change. Everything, all signs point to Sale being in a really, really nice spot here. Do you have anything to add about Sale, or is it just pretty cut and dry?
Nope. SP1 tonight. He is my preferred play. Hope I get a ton of him. I'm going to try to force in at least at the field, at least 25, 30%, hopefully a little bit more. He's who I want at this price range, ahead of Scherzer, ahead of Kershaw by pretty good margins.
Tom Kennedy in the chat, folks.
Oh, here we go.
Ask him all the best questions you can.
What about Red Sox bats? I'm assuming you like them?
I do. Not as much as I've been liking them. I've got 8% on FanDuel, 9 on DK. That's just a notch above the field. They're my 7th ranked stack on FanDuel and 5th on DraftKings. Benintendi looking exceptional today on FanDuel, only $4,000. $1,900 more expensive on DraftKings. It's a tough sell for me to get the $5,900 Benintendi. I basically just get no JD Martinez on FanDuel, and I get Benintendi, and then the inverse on DraftKings. I get a lot of JD and not much Benintendi. I like Devers quite a bit. I like Eduardo Nunez quite a bit. Not getting a ton of Mookie Betts. They're just... Again, this is another situation where construction is pretty difficult. First 3 hitters, all outfielders at 5,600 or higher. You kind of got to pick 2 and move on. There's no real way to get all 3 of those guys and have a lineup that you like. So, yeah, I like the Red Sox. I can't imagine not wanting to have them. Lance Lynn's fine, but 5.6 run implied total. It's hard to ignore.
Lance Lynn, yeah, he's fine against righties. He's actually pretty good, but the righties he's going to face are Mookie, JD, Bogarts, and Nunez. Okay, Nunez is not good, but he's usable in the stack for 3,200 on DK. And then the lefties are just awesome plays. Some of my favorites of the day, especially Benintendi and Moreland. I like Devers for 3,500. I don't even mind Bradley in the 9 spot. So I'll be overweight probably on all these guys. Yeah, it's tough to get all 3 outfielders in. But I'm going to try to have some lineups with that. I think they can go bombs away on Lance Lynn here. And yeah, I'm going to have a ton of Red Sox.
Yeah, I like it. We're not touching the Twins at all, right?
Nope.
Alrighty. Moving on to Dodgers and Braves. Dodgers 4.5 run implied total. Braves 3.6. It's a 59% chance to win for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw going for LA. Mike Foltynewicz going for Atlanta. We're projecting no ownership to Kershaw and DK. Same for Folty, and I completely agree with it. I don't have much interest in them here, and I don't really have much interest in them on FanDuel either. So talk to me about Kershaw and Folty. What are you thinking?
I'm just not on Kershaw. I think he's overpriced. I didn't like the matchup with Rich Hill yesterday. I don't like it with Kershaw today, and it didn't work out last night, but I'm not paying 12-8 to go on the road against the Braves, who I have as one of the better teams against lefties. I'm not sure if I'm going as far as targeting bats against Kershaw. Maybe Tyler Flowers for 2,700 on DK. But yeah, I'm not really on either side of that Kershaw Braves matchup. And then the Folty, just too tough of a matchup, right? So Anibal was cruising last night for a while, and these Dodgers just wear you down. They're so deep. And wind blowing out 90 degrees, it's another stack Dodger spot for me. And they're going to be low owned, so I'm in on that.
So I have the Dodgers as my 7th stack on DK. I've got a lot of Jock, Machado, Cody Bellinger. I love it. I don't really get to them on FanDuel, but I'm double the field on DK, so I'm happy with that.
On who'd you say? Oh, the Dodgers?
Yeah. Peterson, Machado, and Bellinger specifically.
I like the lefties, but yeah, Machado is certainly going to sneak in. I've got him as one of the better hitters, righty in the MLB.
Agreed. Completely good. Machado's been really good so far in LA, right?
He's going to be awesome in LA.
No, but I mean, like, he's been nuking the ball, too, in these past couple games, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to pitch to him. You can't just kind of pitch around him like they were in Baltimore. And now, like, what are you going to do? Walk him so you get to face Muncy, Grandal, Kemp, Bellinger, Taylor? They're going to have to pitch to all these guys.
Sorry, talking to the boss, man.
You're typing furiously.
Yeah, talking to Tom. I don't have anything else to add here. I think it's crazy that I'm not going to have any Clayton Kershaw. What a weird day.
I don't even feel bad about it. I mean, but whatever. Like, Sale has way more upside. Scherzer has way more upside. Yeah, it's a pretty easy fade for me.
Okay. Same page, man. Same page. Blue Jays and White Sox, 4.8 run implied total for the Blue Jays, 4 for the Sox. It's a 58% chance to win for Toronto. Marcus Stroman going for Toronto. Ronaldo Lopez going for the White Sox. Once again, it's another day to stack against the Sox. Ronaldo Lopez, one of the worst pitchers in baseball via XFIP this season. So I'm all over the Jays. Number 3 stack on FanDuel. Number 1 on DraftKings. We're projecting 12% ownership for Stroman, and I got none. So I'm anxious to hear your thoughts on Stroman for tonight.
Coming off a good start against, I believe it was Baltimore. Chase rate way up, swinging strikes up. Had good results. I think it was 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Kind of what you would expect against a bad team. So you like to see that. Now he gets another team that strikes out a lot. I think I said on the night shift I was a little worried about Moncada and Palka, and that's still true. But Stroman's only 7,300, and he's kind of the only guy I like in the 7K range. So I'll have Stroman. I agree with the decent ownership on him. Other side, Lopez, I agree, is one of the worst pitchers on this slate. I think that's pretty safe to say. And the Blue Jays are just too cheap. You got Granderson 37, Smoke 43, Teoscar 41, but Solarte 36, Morales under 5K, Russell Martin at 3K. It's just a really easy stack to fit in if you're going to a Sale or a Scherzer or a Kershaw. So I like those Blue Jays, especially Granderson leading off.
Granderson, what is it about Granderson that makes him like the best play on the board for me every week or every day?
He leads off, and he's constantly underpriced.
$2,900 on FanDuel, 37 on DK. Like, I've got double the field of Curtis Granderson almost every night. It's hard not to love the Jays here, man. Ronaldo Lopez is just so bad.
Yeah.
So cue the James Shields striking out 6 in the first 2 innings game here, but if that happens, I hope the dongs are coming too. I love the Jays so much.
Yeah, the White Sox don't have a good bullpen either, so they should be able to put it on Lopez and then just be able to smoke whoever comes in. So Solarte and Granderson are the guys I think are super, super underpriced. They're probably the 2 highest owned guys in this game, maybe Martin, but I love these Blue Jays bats. That's not going to be any sort of hot take, though.
No, not at all. All right, bye-bye, Marcus Stroman. Have a good day being not in my lineup. I hope you get, well, I just hope you don't do that well. No strikeouts. You can do whatever you want other than that. Really all that matters. All right, I'm back to my focus now. Rangers and Astros. I've been looking for a game like this for a while, but apparently it's not going to matter. Rangers 3.4 run implied total. There's the Slack message from Tom. Boop. Mute those for 20 minutes. 3.4 run implied total for the Rangers. 5.4 for the Astros. 70% chance to win for the Stros. I guess that's why Dallas Keuchel is getting 15% ownership. Yovani Gallardo going for Texas. As I said, Keuchel going for Houston. So I got no Dallas Keuchel, and we're projected for 15% there. Am I right or am I wrong?
I think you're right. I don't think I'll have any of him as long as the Chris Sale game plays, the Baltimore-Tampa Bay game. He's safe, I think, but just really lacks upside, the strikeout upside. He's got to pitch perfectly and allow no runs. This Texas team has power, so it's a pretty easy fade for me with Keuchel. I know people will see the huge number minus 257 right now, but I don't know. I want to chase strikeouts, and I don't think that Keuchel can really get a ton of strikeouts here. Astros bats, what do you like? All of them?
Okay, so I wanted to like them more because I haven't really had a ton of Astros lately. So I've got 9% on FanDuel. We're projecting 8. So they're my number 5 stack there. We're projecting 9% on DK. I've got 7. So they're my number 9 stack. I've got them. I'm just with the field. And it's basically like inverse ownership. You can almost see it in the colors on here too. So like Springer, Bregman, Altuve, I don't really get on FanDuel, but I get a decent amount of Springer and Altuve on DraftKings. I don't have a ton of Gurriel, Reddick, or Gaddis on DraftKings, but I've got a lot of them on FanDuel. Their pricing is really, like, there's big gaps on some of these guys. Like, Gaddis is $2,500 on FanDuel, which is crazy, but he's $3,900 on DK. So I've got, like, double the field on him for FanDuel. I'm happy to have a ton of the Astros. This looks like a game where they could really blow up. 5.4 run implied total. Gallardo, not great. I like it. I wish that they were even more popular for me because I'd like to cheer for it today.
Gallardo's just going to throw strikes, and these Houston hitters are good enough. They should be able to make him pay. Huge total. They're at home. Not that it matters, but I think they're actually crushing on the road, and they're struggling at home on the season. I don't know why that would be, but Gallardo giving up a lot of hard hits to righties, line drives, not striking him out, and it's really tough not to like those top 6. So I want a piece of all these top stacks, and the Astros are included in that.
I don't like Bregman at 5,300. That's my only like real hang up on DraftKings.
Bregman's been awesome against righties.
Yeah, look, I mean, Bregman himself, incredible. I don't know if I love that price tag, though. I'll tell you what, if anybody can bring it out of him, though, it's Yovani Gallardo.
Yeah.
He's just not very good anymore. I liked him when he was good, man. He was fun.
I think I was too young to remember that.
How long has he been in the league? Yovani Gallardo Fangraphs. Gonna make me feel old here now, dude. 2007. How old were you in 2007?
I was in, let's see, 14.
Fuck me. I was in college for
15?
3 years at that point. I was in my first senior year. I
don't know.
had a few senior years in college. I'd say it was more like 2 sophomore years and 2 senior years. So yeah, 6 years of college. Not a doctor.
Sounds pretty fun to me.
6 years of college, and my profession has no tie whatsoever to a collegiate education.
That's how it usually works out.
Yeah, pretty much so. So, thanks, Dr. Walker. Glad I took financial markets and institutions 3 separate times. Problem was, I just didn't go a lot.
Well, you're partying, you know?
Yeah, well, the problem was I was doing the previous version of DFS, which would have been poker. So I couldn't go to class. I had poker tournaments to play. So
Yeah.
If I went to
Priorities.
college now, I'd be like, nope, can't do it. Early slate or League of Legends or something.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one to try to navigate.
Good God. All right, moving on, I guess. Oh, we're not touching any part of the Rangers, right?
No, I'm good on the Rangers.
Yeah. There's just a sea of red there. Ooh. Cubs. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to fix this one. Cubs, 4.1 run implied total. Cardinals, 4.4. It's a 53% chance to win for the Cardinals. Oh, God, I'm going to have to talk about this a ton. Mike Montgomery going for Chicago. Luke Weaver going for St. Louis. Hey, Jake, do you think I like Luke Weaver?
I think you do.
I do. 19% expected ownership for Weaver on DraftKings. I've got 37. 4% expected ownership on FanDuel. I've got 13. Luke Weaver is my dude today. He is my dude most days. $6,400 price tag. Mwah. Cubs implied total. Did I say clubs? Cubs implied total 4.1. Super low. No Chris Bryant in that lineup right now. I'm in, man. All I want to do is just pound Luke Weaver. So, are you raining on my parade? I don't mean I want to pound him in a physical sense. I want to have a lot of him in my rosters. I saw that eyebrow lift.
You know, just wondering about your phrasing. All right, so Weaver, I expected to be one of the chalkier guys, which I'm fine with because I don't want to play him. He's just so overrated. He has good starts and stuff, and I wish I could try to predict what he's going to do from start to start. I feel like I can do that with almost every other pitcher besides a handful. He does give up a lot of line drives and hard contact to lefties, so that's worrisome when you've got Happ and Rizzo and Schwarber. Hayward's hitting better this year, guys that can make you pay. It's hot in St. Louis, 85 degrees. Looks like some wind blowing out to right. And, 19% ownership. I just can't do it with Weaver. I prefer Chase Anderson, who we're still yet to talk about, but we'll get to. I don't see Weaver missing all these bats. So, give some come.
So, lots of swing and miss here on some of these guys. Baez, Happ, Schwarber. Mm-hmm. Top of the order, not so much.
Right.
But let me look. You mentioned the weather here. You said 85?
85. It's like, a little bit out to right. I mean, nothing substantial.
We are looking at 2 separate things then. I've got not that the temperature matters here. I've got 80, but I've got it blowing in from left center.
Yeah, we must be looking at different stuff then.
4.1 on implied total. That's really low for the Cubs. That is showing some respect to Luke Weaver. I'm surprised that you and the chat are like, yo, don't do this.
Maybe they've just heard me trash Weaver the whole year.
Look, he has not been as good as he has been in the past. Stuff is down a little bit. But at 6,400 with a Cubs team that has about as low of an implied total as you can get for the Cubs, Like, you don't see the Cubs at like 3.2 all that often, you know? I love it. I can't seem to figure out like where my bias is. I mean, I guess it's just that I'm using a little bit more data from not this year, where he had a 10.74 K per 9 last year. He's down 2.5 Ks per 9 right now.
Right. And it's not like I think he's not healthy or anything. He's just prone to a lot of dud starts. He just started against the Cubs 6 days ago and went 4 innings, 5 walks. Like, he could easily do that same thing again. I'm not saying he's going to. It might be different. He's at home. Some guys just pitch better at home. He wasn't getting first pitch strikes, but wasn't getting swinging strikes, did not get any chases, and gave up some hard hits. So it's just, I don't know. I'm not playing him 6 days later against that same team. I don't care that they don't have Bryant. They still have good hitters with power, and Weaver's going to be chalky. So if I don't believe in him, and I think people are going to be on him, I will go to the other side.
So I kind of want to do a little like digging here, maybe a little bit of a walkthrough. I don't know. So swinging strike rate this season, 9.8%, 9.6 last year, 9.8 the year before. So right there, like that doesn't appear to be the issue. But in some way, he had a 27% K rate in 16, a 28% K rate in 17, and now he's down to 21. So something is causing his strikeouts to go away, but not his swinging strikes. And like, I don't really know what that relationship would be. Velocity is the same across all of his pitches. Even the makeup of how he's throwing those balls. Similar amounts of changeups and curveballs and fastballs. Could this just be like a blip of luck?
Ooh, Weaver?
Weaver's lack of Ks in this particular season.
Like, are you saying he's had bad luck this year?
I don't know. Could it just be a small sample, you know?
I think he was overrated the last couple of years. He does not. He's below average at getting chases. Guys are on him when he's throwing strikes.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying that you think that the previous 2 years K rates were inflated based on that swinging strike number, and this is what it actually should be.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I got what you're saying there.
But you look at some of his game logs, and game logs don't tell the whole story. But he's got games with a 2% swinging strike rate, and a 5%, and 7%, and 2.2%, and 3%, like 6.5 in his last start against the Cubs. It's just like he is a completely different pitcher from game to game. He's got starts with 17% swinging strike rates and 14 and 14. If he could show some sort of consistency in his ability to miss bats, I would feel a lot better about predicting him, but I just can't. So when he's chalk, and he's chalk a lot, probably once out of every 3 starts, he's a top 5 owned pitcher on a slate. I just go the other way because he's so tough to predict.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think you may be more right than wrong there. I like the thought process of saying that he's faced so many batters in those. Okay, so 16 and 17 combined is less than the amount of batters he's faced this season. Swinging strike rate is consistent, so yeah, and it's possible that the first 2 K rates are healthier than what he's at now. I'll say this: Steamer projecting an extra like 3/4 of a K per 9. Zips is a little bit lighter on Weaver's projection moving forward. Giving up a lot of hard contact. Comparatively
he wasn't
speaking,
doing
last
that.
year.
He wasn't doing that last year. Yeah, that's the thing too. He's getting squared up, especially by lefties. He's going to get 4 lefties out of the first 6, and then Contreras.
Got a lot of ground balls last year.
Mm-hmm. That too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might make a little manual adjustment to Weaver. I'm still going to be on him because I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But I like the thought process of walking through that and just taking a look and saying, swinging strike over the past couple years, how his K rate was breaking. I'm a little bit more convinced.
Okay. I'm glad.
Yeah, look, it's not always as simple as just looking at a number. If I've got an outlier like this where I have double the field and you're thinking not at all, then, that's the type of stuff I want to dig into. Well, Josh is smoking something fierce this morning. It's not like I'm coming from a place where Weaver wasn't mowing people down for the previous 2 years. He's not like some unknown. Ks per 9 like at 11 and 12. You got to look at least a little bit. That swinging strike rate is interesting that it's been the same over all 3 years. I'm nervous. Yep. There it is. Look, I'm going to still have a bunch of Weaver. I will at least be with the field. There's no way I'll bring him down further than that. But it's something to pay attention to.
Yes.
All right, you ready to talk chalk?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This isn't as chalky as I expected. A's and Rockies, 5.7 run implied total across both games. It's 50 for both teams. 50-50 coin flip game. Sean Manaea going for Oakland. Kyle Freeland going for Colorado. We're obviously not taking pitchers here, right?
Right. If I was taking one, it would be Freeland, though.
I wouldn't touch either of them.
No, I mean, I like a guy that's cheaper than Freeland that's not in Coors. That's in the complete opposite of Coors.
Yeah, for real. Okay, so we're projecting 5% aggregate ownership to the Rockies tonight. Is that because of all the high-priced pitching? Because I've got double the field on the Rockies right now.
Yeah.
They're my number 2 stack on both sites. And I can't imagine not having a ton of them. I'm over the field on the A's and Rockies, and neither team is like particularly chalky. I mean, I guess the A's they're at 7%, but they're behind the Astros, they're behind the Yankees, they're behind the Blue Jays. Is this not just like a perfect Coors games for a lot of righties against 2 lefty starters?
It is on the Rocky side.
Yeah.
So I get it. I like the A's a little bit, but I'm a little bit wary of stacking against Kyle Freeland and Coors. When he's on, he's getting ground balls, and like his ground ball rate is huge. Manaea, on the other hand, though, he can get ground balls, but he has been the product of some very good luck against righties this year. 41% hard contact, 17% K rate, a 220 BABIP against righties this year for Manaea. But he's getting squared up. So I think he's got some regression coming, very little soft contact to righties. And then you look at some of these hitters, especially Arenado and Story. Those are going to be 2 of my highest owned players on the slate, probably the 2 highest owned hitters. I love Desmond, Iannetta if he's in. I don't even mind Blackmon, lefty in this Coors game. So the Rockies are, I think, my number 1 stack. I assume they were going to be chalky, but if they're not going to be, even better.
Yeah.
This is an insanely good spot for them, I think.
I can only assume that number is going to go up throughout the day. I love them, man. Desmond, Arenado, Story, Iannetta, Garrett Hampson. I'm in, man. I'm just in.
I can't say I know much about Garrett Hampson. He hasn't had enough at bats to get a sample size for me. But I guess I could look at his exit velocity if he's hitting the ball hard.
Okay. This Weaver stuff is going crazy. He's not bad.
No, all right. He's not a bad real life pitcher. I don't think he's a good play tonight. But That doesn't mean I don't think Kyle Hendricks is ever a good play, but he's a decent real life pitcher.
Even in a worst case scenario, Weaver's xFIP is 4.29. He's functional. I could be overrating him dramatically, but it's not he's James Shields. What about the A's? They've been pretty chalky for the past couple days, and now they're moving straight from Texas to Colorado to what I would have assumed to be hella chalk again, but still just, 6% aggregate, 7% on DK. This is both above average on a 15-game slate. They're going to be owned quite a bit, but Nothing crazy. Single digits across the board on FanDuel. Only guys getting into double digits on DK are Semien at 10 and Manny Laura's boy, Jonathan Lucroy, at 10% as well.
Yeah.
I love, like, Mark Hanna at 4,400. I'm in, man. I'm going to have a ton of them.
Kana, yeah, he's the one guy that I will have a good amount of. I like Chris Davis is a pretty easy guy for me to go underweight on. He doesn't hit lefties as well as he hits righties, and Freeland is very good at getting ground balls and deception. So he is too expensive, I think, even in Coors. Your boy Matt Chapman also.
Shout out Matt Chapman. Dong last night. Where are you at, Spags?
Yeah.
I picked better Matts than you.
Yeah, so those two, but they're 2 and 7 if this lineup is the same. I'm not going to be overweight on the Oakland stack, I don't think.
Mark C., you bite your tongue comparing Luke Weaver to a Chicago-style hot dog. I don't know if you're trying to say he's good or bad, but to me, that's bad. That's bad. We got to get Tom's input. Tom, if you're still listening to this, what are your thoughts on the Chicago-style hot dog? And why are you wrong about it? I can't imagine, like, this is the perfect game stack, right? You can get to the game stack so easily here.
You can get to it. Yeah, it's Coors, man. Crazy stuff happens. 15-game slate, that's where I want to play Coors when it's going to be. Especially the Rockies. I mean, I love the Rockies, so if you want to throw in an A stack with them, be my guest.
I'm in here, man. This is going to be one of my favorite games to keep an eye on. I definitely want to be over the field here. I'm expecting runs. And not just in me pants. Mariners and Angels. 4-run implied total for the Mariners, 4.5 for the Angels. It's a 55% chance to win for said Angels. Wade LeBlanc going for Seattle. Andrew Heaney going for the Angels. Heaney coming off the DL or something?
I think he just pitched.
Did he? I feel like he's been gone for a while. Or at least I feel like I haven't said his name. I'm just making that up.
Yeah, you just pitched.
Yeah, I don't know. Ignore me. I just feel like I haven't had a chance to talk about him for a while. Are you using either pitcher here? Because I have 0 LeBlanc, 0 Heaney, and we're projecting 0 LeBlanc and 0 Heaney on both sites.
This game is just really about 3 hitters. It's Haniger, Cruz, and Trout. That's like all the exposure I want in this game. I don't really like either of the pitchers. I like Heaney as a pitcher, but this matchup is really tough for strikeouts. So I'm off of him for 8,900. I'd much rather go to a Chris Archer or someone like that, or just go way cheaper. But yeah, I hope this one stays pretty quiet.
Yeah. Heaney's last 3 starts were this past Sunday, the previous Saturday,
Yeah.
and then a previous Sunday. So, like, if that breaks the right way, he might not be in any slates that I'm talking about. So that's probably why I haven't seen Heaney's name in, like,
West Coast, too, so he's on the late slates for those.
Right. Hitting not super popular in this game, a little bit to the Mariners, a little bit to the Angels on DK from a projection standpoint. But I have the Angels as my 3rd most owned stack on DraftKings. And it's basically all the first 4. David Fletcher, Andrelton Simmons, Trout, and Upton. I've got all of those guys in like double digits. Technically, I'm double the exposure to the Angels on DraftKings. How crazy am I?
I don't know. I mean, LeBlanc's been...
Obviously, we don't have to talk about Trout. That's just...
Yeah. The Angels don't come up that high for me against lefties. Simmons and Trout. Well, Trout, and then there's big drop, and then it's Simmons, and then it's everyone else. So, yeah, I don't like the Angels that much against lefties in this park. It's not great hitting weather. I mean, it's fine, 75 degrees. It's not like you have to avoid the spot, but yeah, I just think there are a ton of other spots where I'd go to before the Angels.
Yeah, I see that, like, David Fletcher being 2,700 for a third baseman leading off. If that happens, I mean, that's one of the better bargains of the day. Not that I think David Fletcher is that good, but it's just there's so many additional potential opportunities at a cost of what amounts to nothing. You know, you want to count David Fletcher as a $3,500 guy and then turn Trout into a $5,200 Trout. Now, that's what you're doing by bringing in Fletcher. Simmons at 30 or 400 for a shortstop hitting second. I think it's just like a perfect storm of righty versus lefty and cheap prices on Fletcher and Simmons. Like, if they move Cole Calhoun back up to the 1 spot, I don't think that I have anywhere near this many Angel stacks. I think it's just the perfect storm of having those two guys at the top of the order.
Sure. So, just Wade LeBlanc, why I don't target him, his chase rate is awesome. Like, swinging strikes and all that stuff, not great, but all pitchers who have thrown 30, all starters who have thrown 30 innings this year, LeBlanc ranks 4th in chase rate at 36.8%. That's behind DeGrom, Tanaka, and Sale only. So he's just good at getting guys to swing at bad pitches. And that's dangerous to stack against. I mean, obviously he could have an off game and not have his best stuff or whatever. But that's really tough for me to want to stack against, especially for a team that doesn't grade out well for me against lefties anyways.
Sure. Look, I get it. I'm surprised. I only have I only have one individual line of them on FanDuel. It's totally just that pricing. So if Fletcher moves out of the 1 spot, you can assume that I don't feel the same way about DraftKings and the Angels. It's a very unique scenario. Diamondbacks and Padres. Diamondbacks 4.3 run implied total. Padres 3.3. It's a 62% chance to win for the Diamondbacks. Zach Greinke going for Arizona. Luis Perdomo going for San Diego. This one will be interesting. So we've got Greinke projected for 19% ownership on DraftKings. I got 5. And we have Perdomo projected for 10% ownership. I got 21. Well, I'm flip-flopping my exposure to these guys. What are you looking at here? Are you more Greinke or are you more Perdomo?
I mean, I'll probably have a little of both. Don't have a super strong stance on either guy. I can understand why you'd want to play Greinke here. Awesome park for pitching. He's a little bit underpriced, it looks like. Good strikeout matchup. He did struggle against the Padres in his last start, or maybe his last start against the Padres. I can check on that. Yeah, so 3 starts ago against the Padres, went 4 1/3, 5 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, which is fine, but didn't get a lot of swinging strikes. He was under 10%. I'm not sure why that would be. Greinke does pitch better at home as well. But such a good park, really good strikeout matchup. He's 10.7K. If the weather looks bad there, he's a guy I'll pivot some exposure to, Greinke. And then on the other side, Perdomo is 4,200 and a starter. So he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
The problem is the Diamondbacks can roll out a pretty lefty-heavy lineup. Descalso, Marte, Peralta, Jay, and then the righties are Goldschmidt and Pollock. So not an easy top 5 or top 6 for Perdomo to navigate.
Very true. Very true. I think at 4,200, I'm willing to take that shot. Obviously, he couples very well with Scherzer and Sale. Allows you to get a very cheap combo there. Won't take much for Perdomo to turn around value, and allows you to get some bats. So I expect to be over the field on him at that price point.
Yep.
I'm really surprised that I only got 5% Greinke though.
I don't think Greinke's gonna ruin the slate or anything if you don't play him. So there are guys that are around his price that I think have just as good of upside. They just might not be in the best matchup. This is probably one of the best matchups you get the Padres in San Diego.
Yeah, I just have Scherzer and Sale so far ahead of Kershaw, Carrasco, and Greinke that it's hard for me to get to Greinke because that gap is so big. And then below them, I like Archer and Matty Bum Bums a ton.
Yeah.
Any hitting here? Because it's a full no to me.
Not crazy about it. Besides Peralta, I like for 4,500.
Okay. Final game. And I'm going to give you the floor after I do this so that I can fill my water because I know you're going to have something to talk about. Brewers 3.5 run implied total. Giants 3.9. It's a 55% chance to win for the Giants. Chase Anderson going for Milwaukee. Madison Bumgarner going for San Francisco. We've got Anderson at 11%. I've got 19. We've got Bumgarner at 16%. I've got 13. Big fan of the pitching here. And I think that you are too. So the floor is yours. Tell everybody about Chase Anderson tonight.
Yeah, Anderson, really impressive to me over the last month or so in some pretty subpar matchups for the most part. He was at Cincinnati, went against the Twins, at home, at Miami, at Pitt, at LA. Those last two really impressed me. Just being able to survive those two and have a good chase rate and all that. He's had at least a 34% chase rate in all four of those starts, getting a lot of swinging strikes in total, above 10%. For a guy that I thought was pretty bad earlier in the season, he looks much, much better to me as of late. And I kind of want to ride that streak. I don't know if he's figured something out. I haven't watched him a lot, but these numbers tell me that he's figured something out or he's throwing a different pitch. So I need to look into him a little bit more. But right now, he's going to be the guy that I go to down here. And he got up to 104 pitches, which I've been talking about more. Just like the ability to go 100 pitches is important, especially when you're 5,500 and not a lot of other guys do that in this range. So I love Chase Anderson. I can't believe I'm saying it out loud, but it's a decent strikeout matchup as well.
It really is. The
Giants strike out above average. This park is one of the best for strikeouts, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he's got everything that I want, and he's 5,500.
I'm not going to argue with you. I have double the field. I like it quite a bit. He's another guy that it's great to have him because it makes it really easy to get to those more expensive pitchers if you wanted to. Or you pair him with Archer or not Bumgarner probably. But like if you pair him with Archer, then you're saving even more money and paying up for bats if you want to.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's a really awesome slate to use him as well. So
yeah, you can't
Chase Anderson, he's going to be likely my highest exposed player.
Really?
Yeah. He opens up so
more than
much.
Sale?
Yeah, I think so. Just because, on most of my Sale lineups, I'll probably have Anderson, and then I want to get a different line of construction. So I'll be going to guys like Archer and some Greinke, and I don't even know who else I talked about, but Stroman. So it's just, it sets up really nice for me. And if he gets bombed, I'm going to be sad and be weeping. But I'll be waiting around for this game tonight. Hopefully things are going well with the bats before and he can hammer it home.
All right, so I'm on the same page with you for Chase Anderson. I'm going to have some exposure because of that price point. Giants, number 6 stack on FanDuel, number 10 on DK. I've got double the field on FanDuel, 8% to 4. We're projecting no ownership to the DraftKings or to the Giants on DraftKings. 1% aggregate. I've got 7. I've got a ton of Longoria, a ton of McCutchen, a ton of Posey. I even got some Brandon Crawford and some Steven Duggar. Are those 3 righties, Posey, McCutchen, and Longoria, interesting to you on DraftKings at all?
No.
Okay.
They're not. They are very cheap.
Right.
So if you just believe this is a blip, like just luck, like kind of what we were referring to with Weaver, then yeah, I guess. But it's still a terrible part, right? So even if they're squaring him up, where's their upside on a 15-game slate?
I think it's positionally. So like Posey catcher 37, Crawford shortstop 36, Longoria third base 32. You can put them with like 5-man Red Sox stacks and get those expensive outfield bats. So I think that I'm getting to those guys strictly because they're checking off very specific cheap boxes at positions that aren't naturally filled that easily.
Okay. I mean, your logic makes sense. I'm just going to be so heavy on Anderson that it would be tough for me to get there. I probably should have a leverage stack if I'm playing 50 or 60% Chase Anderson.
Yeah.
Just for my sanity. But yeah, it's all about Anderson for me in this game. And I actually don't hate the Brewers bats if I'm going to bats in this game, just because they have so much power. Braun and Aguilar. Is Aguilar going to be in this lineup?
Apparently.
I didn't have it in my lineup this morning or last night when I entered in the projected. But all right, I like that he's in the lineup for 4,400. Mad Bum does give up some power to righties, and they're going to be Braun and Aguilar are going to be like 2% owned.
Yeah, they're both 0 right now.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it.
It's about that time. Crunch time.
Chase Anderson will be the highest owned pitcher on the slate. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it's absolutely false, but it will be for Jake.
He could sneak up into like the top 5. I don't know. People might be on him. Good park and super cheap. But I think people will be on Perdomo. I think people will be on Stroman. And there's another cheap guy that we talked about. Oh, Desclafani. So,
yeah.
Nova.
Luke Weaver.
Oh, yeah. Him too.
Sorry, I had to cough there.
No, yeah. It's.
Give me 2
I don't
pitchers.
think Anderson's going to be. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Sale and Sale Weaver.
All right, sorry, I was on FanDuel. I was like, what in the world? I'm not seeing some of these guys. I was like, yeah, that's because I'm missing half of them. Sale Weaver?
Yep.
TMCB, yes, I am on the Fancy Cruncher beta. Sale Weaver, this one will be easy. Top 2 for me. Sort by projected. Yeah, that'll be the cure for what ails me. Five Blue Jays, Devers, Jock, and Cody Bellinger. I mean,
looks good.
That's basically just a lineup of my top plays today. There's a Stanton, Hicks, Longoria. Find one without the Blue Jays. I'll do this one. Pirates, Angels, Kevin Kiermaier. That's a weird looking lineup.
TMCB. I think Josh is on the Cruncher beta. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah. Did I not answer that out loud?
You did not. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure that's what I just said out loud.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But now you've got me thinking that I'm just dumb.
Sorry.
Well, I thought about the answer, so maybe I didn't say it out loud. I don't know.
No, you probably did. I was distracted.
It's okay. Oh god, this is. I can pretty much have whatever I want with Sale and Weaver.
People want Kershaw, Anderson. It looks like Sale, Anderson, something like that.
Okay. Grab Anderson. We'll see what breaks out better. Anderson, how much Sale and okay, so I've got 8 lineups of
we
Sale.
could just look at Anderson right here.
Yeah, that's
You've
fine.
got Archer.
So Archer and Sale across the top, but I mean that looks great. 5-man A's, a 1-off Arenado plus Gurriel and Granderson. If they're hitting 1-2, I like that combination for the Blue Jays quite a bit.
Check out that one in the middle in the lower.
This one?
Yeah.
The Weaver Henderson?
You're gonna like that.
The
Full
nuts
Rockies,
of the 5-man Rockies. Yeah.
Full Rockies, 2-man Red Sox, and a Yankee Hicks 1-off.
TMCB, I didn't wait at all. I messaged Dave at Fantasy Cruncher privately and just had him flip it over for me. Because, obviously, little bit of some very clear marketing campaign for us. I share a Fantasy Cruncher screen quite a bit. Actually, oddly enough, and it's not something I even remembered, I have an affiliate code for Fantasy Cruncher. So people are still signing up under my affiliate link off of my own personal website. A lot, too. So I guess they're probably not too mad about that one either. Forgot I had it. I wrote for them for like 2 weeks.
Fantasy Cruncher?
Yeah, like right when they flipped over and started having some content.
Nice.
But I was still, it was at a time where I was working heavily and didn't think that I could do both. Then I finally just bit the bullet and look where we're at.
Yeah, you're going to take those risks sometimes, like Chase Anderson.
Like Luke Weaver.
Ooh.
Give me this one, too. 5-man Rockies, LaCroix, Kana, George Springer. I'm on Team LaCroix, man.
LaCroix, like the sparkling water?
LaCroix.
I like LaCroix, too. Not Jonathan Lucroy, but...
I had him a lot that night. That wasn't just revisionist history. I think Tom
I
did, too.
Yeah.
I just, it's really easy to fill catcher because most catcher projections are going to be very similar. And it's more of a price play at catcher than anything else, unless you're paying up for, Gary Sanchez type dudes.
It's like Gaddis, Salvador Perez, Contreras, and Real Muto, really. Yeah. I'm sure I forgot a couple of guys, but there's 5 or 6 catchers that project well for me, and then everyone else is the same.
Right, the catcher is just the last guy in my stack. So if I have a powerful 4-man stack, then the catcher is just naturally going to come along for the ride.
I mean, I almost banked with Caleb Joseph. Got second and third.
There you go.
With 2 Caleb Joseph lineups. So.
Alrighty. We'll take one quick peek at FanDuel and then we'll get out of here. Once again, we're plugging playline.com/r/Awesemo. Get in the Awesemo.com presents $1 million perfect line bonus. 5,000 guaranteed, 2K to first. Pick the pitches, strikes, and strikeouts for Chris Sale, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer. We will have an article up on the site in the next 45 minutes to an hour breaking down Clayton Kershaw. We'll also have quick hits coming out probably at around 1 o'clock. And then live stream tonight, myself, Chris Spags. Jake will probably pop into chat, give another home run pick that goes correct. You're going for the perfect week, aren't you?
Yeah, man. Because we don't do them on, what was that?
Saturdays.
Did you have one on Sunday?
I usually make a pick, but I don't. They're more unofficial.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going for the perfect week. It'll be 6 in a row, hopefully, tonight.
I was going to say, so you have the Tiger Slam right now. You have 5 straight weekdays. They're just in different weeks.
Yeah. So, need to go Monday through Friday. I can't choke now.
You got the Tiger Slam, man. That's good.
Yeah, it'll be good. But I'm not stopping yet.
I desperately hope you don't get one today. If you pick 5 straight days in the same week, you're nuts. All right, so
I wish I won money though.
Yeah, yesterday was about as good as it gets for me. Won a tournament, took second in another tournament, and got my home run call. Coming off the night of winning another tournament. This Thursday, Friday heater is pretty nice so far. Or Wednesday, Thursday heater so far. Give me a FanDuel pitcher.
Jesus.
I just hate this.
Archer.
Yeah.
Just go Archer.
I have a ton of Archer on FanDuel, so this will be an interesting exercise into why. Because I can get everything that I want. How does 4-man Blue Jays, 4-man Rockies stack sound? 2 teams that I wrote up in Spotlight Hitters. That's why I get a lot of Archer. Because you can do whatever you want. It's FanDuel. 4-man A's stack in Colorado. 4-man Blue Jays stack against the crappy White Sox. There's some Yankees. Some A's, or some Astros, rather. Chris Archer, come on down. I hope that weather in Baltimore stops. Anything else today?
No, man. We covered it in good time today. I like that. We moved at a good pace, got some nice chats in there, and I'm excited about this slate. Excited to play some Chase Anderson and hopefully win some GPPs.
Yeah, I'm going to be really mad. You could keep your home run streak going. I'd like to keep my winning GPP streaks going. So let's try to get another one today.
I'd much rather be on your streak. I love picking home runs. I hope people made money off of them, but I'd also
money's
like to make
more
some
fun.
money. Yeah, money's more fun.
Very true. Very true. My money's going to buy me a brand new laptop in a couple days.
There we go.
Something's weird about my current laptop, and it's only like a year old, but it's tweaking out real bad. So whatever. Thanks, FanDuel. Thanks, DraftKings. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We are done for the day. We, as a group, will see you again Monday morning, but myself and Chris will be back tonight. Adios, everybody.